Okay, this is day 198, part two. A lot of people are saying, well, how is this connected to the Awan brothers, these two doctor murders? And what I'm trying to say is a lot of times in the intelligence business, when you're trying to create rat lines, there are people in positions that you need to remove because they are not doing what you want them to do. You want people who are going to write a lot of prescriptions of opioids and so forth. And I believe the Awans are involved with Javid in the Washington, D.C. area, not only in safe houses, but also in promoting these doctors within the VA health system, as well as other health systems in hospice care and nursing homes. So I'll give you the two examples. One of the things you do in the intelligence community is you would bring in, especially with doctors, you bring in, as I said, everything starts with a stripper yesterday. But it also can be an operative that's just very beautiful operative. The doctor falls in love. It goes on for about a year or so. It's kind of put off everybody's suspicion of the thing. And they say, oh, he's happy. He's with this young, beautiful woman. They're touring the world. They're having a great time. And then all of a sudden the murder happens. And the other doctor sometimes is killed. Sometimes they leave the country. They're overcome with grief. Or in the case of this Dr. Nicasio that was murdered, it's the beautiful daughter that does the murder. Anytime I see wacky cover stories, kind of like this Lionsgate mummy, I killed him because I saw the mummy. The mummy's coming out on June 9th. I'm immediately suspicious. He's 69-year-old doctor, Dr. Nicasio. His daughter's 27. That's quite a difference. That's like 40 years different. Doesn't make sense. She doesn't look anything like him. They bring him in. You bring an operative in. You have him go be the soccer coach for a year or two, and then you. Now I'm not saying I don't know enough about Christina Nicasio, but just the whole story of they're taking her to the mental institution. She's the daughter of a multimillionaire doctor. Why would she then stab her doctor or her father in the heart? Just doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'm going to start calling these the DynCorp pain clinic murders, because I just believe that they're removing folks that are in pain management that are not prescribing enough opioid. Again, it may be only a 10% chance of that actually happening, but I believe it's my responsibility as a journalist to dig deeper, to look deeper, and look at the metadata and look at how things line up. And I look at, again, DynCorp all over the world. Wherever there's resistance in other countries to this type of thing, they just kill the doctor. I mean, there's no two ways about it. In Europe, sometimes they'll do a cover story and so forth. But again, DynCorp doesn't care. They're pushing their agenda, which is these counterfeit drugs made in Pakistan and India. And they really don't care who they have to kill. They do sometimes have to do some cover stories. But again, I see this doctor very closely associated with the organ kind of business, which is, again, a DynCorp specialty. He's very close to it all at the UPMC Shady Side. He's more one of the older school doctors, he's a little bit more conservative. Dr. Field is the sort of same kind of doctor, the old Harvard-trained doctor, tincture of time type doctor. He's kind of fighting and resisting his wife, with the North Coast pain management, over prescription of opioid. And, to me, the parallels are very clear, with DynCorp's other behavior around the world. So it's not just these two cases. I'm looking at the two cases over the full fall of all these other cases, along with the Awan brothers' involvement and the MO of all their involvement. And it looks very much to me, when you put it in the backdrop of all these other opioid over prescriptions, the Detroit doctors we talked about, all the opioid deaths, the 20 opioid overdoses in Springfield, Ohio on Easter, then it starts making sense. All these things like, I watched The Mummy and Hollywood did me in, Hollywood got me, when this beautiful 27-year-old murderess says, things don't make any sense. Plus The Mummy coming out on June 9th, it just reeks almost of cheesy cover stories. So that's round two for this morning.